Hello, I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the Strategy Room. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton is facing heavy criticism for her statement to Fox News host Chris Wallace on Sunday that FBI Director James Comey confirmed her statements on her email scandal were truthful. Let's listen to her response.
In fact, he said, I did not have any reason to believe at the time any of those emails were classified. He explained before Congress that even the efforts to try to see whether some kind of minor classification did occur was disowned by explanations that indeed those materials were not. So what we really have here, and I've said this for a long time, and in fact, Director Comey said that my answers were truthful and what I've said is consistent with what I have told the American people.
All right, joining me now with reaction are Democratic strategist Jeannie Zaino and Republican strategist Brian Morgenstern. Welcome to you both. Very measured response, Jeannie. So what do you make of it?
You know, this has been the challenge that Clinton has faced all along, which is that her answers tend to be very legalistic, you know, threading a very fine needle, very much in keeping with Bill Clinton when he went through the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And I think
without the charm of Bill.
Without the charm of Bill. And I think that is what, you know, makes people very nervous and very uncomfortable. You know, if you listen to what she said to Chris, she said, you know, she's parsing words there. She's saying, he said what I said was truthful. And he did say that. He said she was truthful to the FBI. He never said she was truthful to the American public. In fact, he said, that's not my job to vet that. And so she ties that with the fact that she has been truthful to the American public. And I think that's where questions are raised. Now, I have to say, in all of this, I'm not sure the American public cares one iota about this. She's on the stump all weekend. And they're talking about the economy, jobs, things people care about, and no voters are asking about this issue. So, you know, on the one hand, I think, you know, there is criticism to be had. She hasn't been forthcoming on this. And on the other hand, I'm not sure it's going to resonate at all with voters at this point.
So, Brian, the Washington Post said that Clinton is cherry-picking her statements from Comey, like, you know, Jeannie was talking about, just to preserve her narrative about the unusual setup of her private email. What are your thoughts here? This is her narrative, that there's an unusual setup. You know, she's not, you know, technologically, you know, expert in this area. She's challenged in this area. So what do you think about her narrative?
It's baloney. She got 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post with good reason. I mean, she sent classified information. Director Comey said she had every reason to know that there was classified information. Anyone in her position or her staff's position should know that they shouldn't have been doing this. You know, and the fact that, here's why it matters. I think it resonates with voters, is that her ability to sit there in a very calm and steely demeanor say something that is so laughably, patently, provably false. Right. It raises questions about whether she's, I don't know, a sociopath, like when you can do that.
But that's the bottom line. You know, do the voters care? Do her supporters care?
I mean, her supporters, the ones I speak to, couldn't care less about this. And if they are Dems and they are in the Hillary camp, they think this is, you know, much ado about nothing. However, you know, there's a reason that, you know, close to 60% of the American people views her as untrustworthy. And so the people who are not drinking the Kool-Aid already do think that this is demonstrative of maybe a character flaw that they don't want to see in their president. Okay,
so Jeannie, Clinton admitted to Chris Wallace that she made a mistake that she would never repeat. I mean, do you think this is a good move politically? This is a nice strategy to say, listen, I might have made a mistake. If I made a mistake, I won't repeat it, but, I mean, just covering her bases. Is this a good move?
It is. It's a move that she should have made when this first came out over a year ago. She should have taken responsibility. She shouldn't have said she was doing it because it was convenient. She should have said she did it. It was a poor judgment. It was a bad mistake, and she would never do it again. You know, we've seen this over and over, whether people are celebrities, politicians, public figures. You need to own what you've done. And if she had been honest from the beginning that this was, at the very least, poor judgment, I think a lot of the questions about her integrity and trustworthiness would have been pushed aside. But it was because we heard one little statement, then another kind of slightly different statement, then another statement that people started to get frustrated. That said, let's not forget, we've had, what, 9 independent, 9, some partisan, some bipartisan, some independent examinations of this by Congress, and they have found nothing to pin on her about Benghazi and about the email. So, you know, as much as people want to make a lot about this, there's not much to be made about this. It's cemented in people's minds. If they really care, they're not supporting her anyways. So I think the Clinton campaign is right to say, yes, it's a mistake, and we're going to move beyond it. And quite frankly, again, voters aren't going to care about it in the fall, and if they do, they're not supporting Hillary Clinton anyways.
Exactly. I mean, so Brian, your thoughts on this, because she is, I think, still about 3 points ahead of Trump in the polls, and strategically, she's okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, and we'll see if there's any fallout from this. Of course, the campaign she's running against tends to hijack the press cycle.
Other topics. She doesn't have to do anything, actually. let Trump,
right.
you know, shoot himself in the foot.
If she would just crawl under the covers for the next few months, she'd probably be better off. But the strategic decision to come on Fox News in particular and speak to a different audience is a great move, because it humanizes the candidate to people who might otherwise oppose her, which will decrease the intensity of their wanting to vote against her. Strategically, it makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. But when she answers these questions in ways that are obviously less than truthful, obviously very politician-y, you know, part of the establishment, the ability to you know, produce spin like that, it leads to more distrust. And so they need to find a way for her to just speak plainly and honestly, and they clearly have not done that yet.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeannie and Brian, for being here.
Thank you.
And for complete coverage on the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.